What's up, everyone? Dr. Mel here. I feel like a new and improved person for a couple reasons, right? It's now I'm live. All right, here we go. I'm live. There's a little bit of a delay. Happy Mindfulness Monday, y'all! It is Monday, and I'm feeling alive and like a rejuvenated human being for a couple reasons. One, I got to spend some time in the sun, in the warmth this weekend, even though it was just for a couple days. My soul is so happy. You have no idea. And I'm really digging this look of Mindfulness Monday on a desktop. I don't know if y'all know this, and it probably looks a little different, but majority of the Mindfulness Mondays that I was doing were on my phone. And thanks to Mark, he encouraged me to use this. And so it looks different. And I got to make sure that my webcam isn't all foggy. And I think we're good. So it's been a minute. It's been 1 minute and we are live. And I want to say thank you all. We are over 400 members in the Inspired Twin Cities community. And I super appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Even if you're not a super active person in the group, or even if you have no idea what this group is about, let me tell you what it is about. It is about teaching you how to be the best version of you. It is about empowering you that health is choice and that you don't have to take it for chance. So you see me go live in here, you see Michael in here, you see other people post. We at Inspire Life, our core values are choice, autonomy, and knowing that health is actually your birthright if you choose to engage with it on a daily basis. We also understand that you may not be a doctor, you may not be on the holistic, paradigm, the holistic train, and that's okay. We understand that in our current cultural paradigm and our current educational system, oftentimes we are not told certain things or have learned certain things, and we have to do it on our own. That was part of my journey. Was I started learning about these other paradigms of health, and it wasn't something that was given to me. So I had to put in a lot of work to learn it on my own, read books, watch documentaries, talk to experts, invest in my own care to actually learn from an expert in the holistic paradigm. So it's been a decade now of me doing that very consistently. And something I want to let you know, and that's my topic for the Mindfulness Monday today, is that healing and coming back and returning to wholeness is not always pretty. It can be messy AF, my friends. It can be uncomfortable. And in fact, healing is not meant to be easy. If you think about it, when we're cleaning out our closet and we're spring cleaning and we're getting rid of stuff, physical stuff that no longer serves us, you're ripping down shirts, you're pulling out underwear, and it's flying all over the place. And it looks really chaotic and it looks really messy. And underneath the surface, you know that there's work being done. You know that there's change in the making. You know that there's transformation occurring. And in that very moment, it looks messy. But if you take a step back and you look at the bigger picture, our bodies and our healing and opening up our awareness that we've always been whole, we've just been told these illusions that we're not. When we take that bigger picture, we can see that it's part of the journey and it's on the way, not in the way. And listen, my friends, I get it. I know some of you, if you are new to this form of healing, if you have never done any holistic work, there can be what I call, the spring cleaning detox, where if you've been living in a certain paradigm, and you, meaning your neurology, your physiology, your biology, your microbiology, your cells, right? Every single cell that is you have been living in a paradigm and you've been living in a pattern. And that pattern has probably accumulated some stuff, right? Some toxins, some just baggage, whether it's physical, emotional, mental. in your physical DNA, in your cells. Yes, your cells literally can hold toxins for years until you start to shift your nervous system. And when we start to shift the nervous system to become more entrained and coherent and aligned, that doesn't always mean that all of a sudden all of your symptoms go away. In fact, they can get worse. They can actually amplify. Why? Because when your nervous system starts to function better and your body starts to adapt better, all of that stuff that you've put in the back of your mind, that you've shoved away, starts to experience a wake-up call. And when the signals from your brain to your body and your body to your brain are more clear and there's less fuzziness, there's less fog, we call that free of subluxation. Those signals can amplify and they start to work better. Think about it. If you have toxins, if you have old stuff sitting in your body and your body's just been in this stagnant pattern, wouldn't you want to turn up the dial to eventually like move that out of your system? And that can look intense, right? It can look like getting the chiro flu, as I call it, or getting diarrhea, or your body has an increase of sensation and pain because we're ramping up the energy and we're moving energy through your system differently. And the way that I see it and the way that the holism paradigm sees it is there's nothing wrong with your body. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Every single thing that you experience, every single symptom, every single signal, it's all part of your body adapting as best as it can. And so any change in symptomatology can actually be a sign that your body is getting to work. Your body is healing. I want to share a story with you. When I first started getting network care, my body had a wake-up call. Now, many of you know my story, but for a long, long time, I did not put nutritious food in my body. I was go, go, go. I didn't listen to my body. I suppressed it with birth control, alcohol, a lot of different things. I was very shut down from essentially below my sternum down. I didn't want anything to do with it. I just wanted to keep going, keep achieving, right? And so I got in trained. I had a network session that many of you have experienced. And my body woke the fuck up, y'all. Let me tell you. For years, I had taken birth control. I had suppressed my sexuality. I had dealt with sexual trauma, and I hadn't addressed it. I was ignoring it. I was putting it in the closet, right? It's like those clothes that you get that you wear once, and then you just throw it in the closet, and then you buy more. You just keep accumulating stuff. And all of a sudden, my body was like, whoa. Nervous system was firing differently. Nervous system was awake and aware that there's something going on that had finally hit my prefrontal cortex saying, yo, you need to stop, listen, and pay attention. You need to listen to your body and have a conversation with it and stop running away. So I had my network session, and then the next day, I woke up with the most excruciating pain, probably top 3 experiences of pain that I had ever felt. In my right ovary, to the point where I was experiencing so much pain that I ended up in the ER. And if many of you know me, I don't deal with hospitals. I don't deal with that. I am all about just ignore the pain, keep going, keep pushing through. That was my paradigm for a long time until it wasn't. Until my body was like, this isn't working for you anymore. As Tony Robbins says, you can adopt a strategy that will work until it doesn't work. So for example, if you have emotional trauma growing up, sure, alcohol will suppress it. You won't feel it, of course. You won't feel it. But let me tell you, that strategy of alcohol will eventually catch up with you. Same thing with anything you do. It will eventually catch up with you. The strategy works until it doesn't. We need more efficient strategies. And the body is so brilliant at getting us into efficiency. It's trying to communicate with us all the time. It's just a matter of, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Are you taking inventory? And are you taking new aligned action? So what did I do? Well, I got off birth control. I started to engage with my body differently as far as how I was getting adjusted. I had a very powerful conversation with my boyfriend, now husband, at the time that said, whatever this is not working. And we need to focus on something different. We need to do something different. My friends, pain, symptoms, they're all an invitation to get you to become more conscious. And how brilliant is it that your body does that for us? Our body does that for us. It's not meant to be comfortable, right? When you touch a hot stove, you feel the burn. To say, whoa, that's not a good idea. If you keep that there long enough, you're going to lose a hand. Probably a good idea to have that signal from your finger to your arm, through the spinal cord, to the reptilian brain, to the thalamus, to the prefrontal cortex. And in fact, that type of reflex doesn't even happen at the prefrontal cortex. It's very instinctual, it's very reflexive, it happens at the spinal cord level. So what if we could live our life so in tune, so embodied, that we start to see these experiences in our body as lessons, as wisdom, as invitation to get connected, to listen. Conversation doesn't have to happen verbally with other people. In fact, majority of language in our culture is nonverbal. And this nonverbal communication and engagement and conversation does not have to be with other people. In fact, it can be, and I invite it to be, with yourself and yourselves on a daily basis. I'm going to be teaching a lot about how to do this, how to master the inner game, shifting your languaging, shifting your thought processes, understanding your nervous system, seeing your body as intelligent. This is all going to be part of our one-day immersive, our mental emotional mastery coming up this April, which I've got 4 spots left. Who is this designed for? Practice members. And those of you who aren't practice members, if maybe you're curious about what we're up to and what we do here, it's very different than any other chiropractic experience that you will have. I promise you that. I can promise you that. And that's not from an egotistical standpoint. It's from a knowing standpoint. Because I see that feedback and hear that feedback on a daily basis from people. It's for leaders, it's for entrepreneurs, it's for you business owners, it's for you other chiropractors that might be in this group, it's for you other holistic doctors that know that you are being called into working with people differently. You are being called to work with yourself differently. It's for people who are kind of done with the whole paradigm, which is the reactive paradigm, the retro paradigm of being fixed, being cured. This is not for me to be your hero. This is for you to be your own hero. This is for you to be your own guide. And I get that in order to go from the student to being the master of your life, there are certain things that are important to learn along the way, and tools and strategies and ways of being and shifts and paradigm shifts and perspective shifts that can help you get and close that gap from student to being the master. And here's the thing, you're always going to be a student of life. You're always going to be a teacher of life. But what if we could bridge that gap? What if I could help you bridge that gap and help you understand you better? Not to put you in a box, not to put you in a paradigm, but to open up your consciousness of, one, how biology works, how the brain works, how mental thoughts and emotional experiences actually work, and how to learn the language of the body so you can master that and become ultimately your own best doctor, your own best hero, your own best guru, and your own best guide. I think we could all agree that the current educational healthcare system, yes, it does what it does, and it does what it needs to do to get people to pass their tests or to save lives, right? I always tell people, if my leg gets chomped off by a shark, do not bring me to a chiropractor. You can bring me there after I go to the hospital, but my hope is that I go to the hospital and our system is very good at emergency care. It's very, very good, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to bash the system. But what I am here is to disclose that the system has gaps. And that those of you who have been through the system and are searching for gaps and haven't found them, you get to end that if you choose, okay? You don't have to be brought through the ringer anymore. I am very clear with my clients that it is not my job to save you. It is not my job to be your hero. I am not your guru. I have a body of knowledge that I have learned that has worked for me and has worked for hundreds of my clients. And the number one reason and the number one thing I see is because I am teaching them. I am teaching them how to empower their own life. And listen, it takes work, y'all. It takes work. It takes commitment. It takes way more than maybe the 15 minutes you see me here. This one-day immersion is for us to immerse and go deep. And the way I'm going to be walking you through is though you were a doctor or you were a chiropractor or you are on this path of self-mastery. More and more people I'm seeing are waking up. They call this office every single day and they're like, you know what? I'm done with this system and I'm ready to take charge of my life. I'm ready to learn about my body, about my nervous system, about breath, how I can heal my own life. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. And that's what this day is all about. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I put the link in this video. I've got 4 spots, y'all. 10 people, that's it, because I want it to be intimate. Yes, I'll probably be doing this again. Ashley and I are up to creating another one-day immersion. That's going to be more for menstrual cycles, for hormones, understanding how you can actually tap into the magic of your menstrual cycle. So that's going to be awesome. I'm super pumped about that. So let me know if you have any questions. You can click the link and see all the details, what we're going to cover. For those of you who come in person, you will receive care on the table. Yay. We got some people flying in from out of town. I'm super excited about that. And then you also will get lunch with me and then breath work, because it's not like your traditional seminar where you learn and you're very cognitive. We have to take like opening up our prefrontal cortex and shifting our neurons around and thinking about things differently and actually embodying that into our physiology, because then the knowing here becomes a deeper like sense knowing, like sensing and knowing deep in our bones and in our cells. You all know that's a different type of knowing, like an intuition rather than I think I know versus I know, right? So anyway, I digress. Happy Mindfulness Monday, y'all. I am wishing you all a great week. Happy President's Day. Peace, love, and keep inspiring.